ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதிகுணார்ணவம் இதேந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரமஜாமாதரமுனிம் ரமஜாமாத்திரி யோகீந்திர பாதரேகாமயம் சதா ததாயத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராமானுஜமுனிம் பஜே லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாதயாமுன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மத் ஆச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம் யோ நித்யமச்சுத பதாம்புஜே யுக்மருக்ம வியாமோகத ஸ்ததிதராணி திருநாயமேனே அஸ்மத்குரோர் பகவதோஸ்ய தைக சிந்தோஹோ ராமானுஜஸ்ய சரணௌ சரணம் பிரபத்யே மாதாபிதா யுவதே ஸ்தனயா பூதி சர்வம் யதேவ நியமேன மதன்வயானாம் ஆத்யஸ்ய ந குலபதே ரகுலாபிராமம் ஸ்ரீமத் ததங்கிரியுகடம் பிரணமாமி மூர்த்னா பூதம் சரஸ்ச மகதாஹ்வய பட்டநாத ஸ்ரீ பக்திசார குலசேகர யோகிவாஹான் பக்தாங்கிரேன பரகால யதீந்திர மிஸ்ரான் ஸ்ரீமத் பராங்குஷமுனிம் பிரணதோஸ்மி நித்யம். We are having this bOdhayantha parasparam program in the format of a group discussion, so to speak. We've had few sessions in the past in this manner. Today, we are taking up a topic which is of great significance for all of us Sri Vaishnavas. The topic is how to transition from laukika lifestyle to sampradhAya lifestyle. That is the topic today. First, let us understand the topic and the purpose of this discussion. I'll share some insights first, and then we'll move on for others' views and question and answers and discussions. This laukika sampradhAya or laukika vaidika, oftentimes this comes up in our satsangams. Basically, our lifestyle here is focused on certain aspects. Each of us have to live in this world as a prapanna, as a surrendered person. Our ultimate goal is to reach Sri Vaikuntham, Paramapadam, and serve Bhagavan eternally there, along with Sri Mahalakshmi. So Bhagavan and Sri Mahalakshmi are the target of our Kainkaryam. That is the ultimate goal. And we come to know about it. We strengthen our knowledge in this principle. And then we also live our life in the meantime. Now, when we live our life, if we are focused on just body, making money and more money and more money, and having social status, having name and fame in a materialistic viewpoint, in a materialistic way, if we are doing all of that, we can say that we are in a laukika lifestyle. Not all of that even. Even if we do some of it, then we can say that we are in a laukika lifestyle. So even though having become Sri Vaishnavas, either from the birth or in between, we've had some enlightenment and we have chosen to be Sri Vaishnavas. Either way, some people are fortunate to be born in Sri Vaishnava family, and from that time onwards, they have some engagement in sampradhAya activities. For some others, though they may not be born in Sri Vaishnava background or family, somehow or the other, they would get some connection through some Bhagavata and become Sri Vaishnavas. Either way, for someone who has become a Sri Vaishnava, for someone who has understood that he is a Sri Vaishnava, because even that understanding is very difficult to get. Many people are born in Sri Vaishnava family. If you go and ask them, who are you? They'll say, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a IT professional. If you tell them, I'm not asking what job you are doing, I'm asking, who are you? Then they will start thinking, I am so and so's son, I am so and so's brother. Still, they will not get that idea that I am an Atma, I am a servitor of Bhagavan. My true nature is to be fully engaged in service to Bhagavan. That concept is very, very difficult to get unless one is fortunate to have connection with elders in the family or some scholars through upanyasams or through daily interactions in temples or mutts or somewhere. If they have that connection, then only they get to know about the true nature of the individual Atma. So many people, to get that understanding itself that I am an Atma, I am not this body, my nature is to be a servitor of Bhagavan and Bhagavatas. So even to get this, it is very, very difficult. But once a person gets that knowledge, then what kind of lifestyle he has to choose and live. He can be in laukika lifestyle, like I explained previously, how one is fully focused on body, and if not body, people are sometimes just focused on mind and keeping the mind happy, having some peace and having some joy and all that. So that is the upper limit of their joy. And it is all body based, making money, enjoying, going out for movies or sports or entertainment or get together with friends. And this is all the activities they engage in. So some people could be in this pure laukika lifestyle. Some people could be a little bit better in saying that, okay, I have my livelihood, I have to go somewhere, work some job, or go to school, I have to study, but I'll keep some time for sampradhaya. So maybe an hour a day, couple of hours a day. In that manner, they engage in some sampradhaya activities like going to temple, listening to lectures, learning pasarams, learning Vedam, depending on one's varna, ashrama, and so on. One may be engaged in some activities. This we see in most of the big cities, people who are somewhat at least attached to sampradaya principles. In the daytime, they go and do some work or go to school or college or whatever, and in the evenings, they come back home, they freshen up, and then go to temple or engage in some spiritual activities. So this is the next level. And then finally, we see very few people who are totally into sampradaya activities. They don't have any laukika engagement or much laukika engagement. We cannot completely avoid laukika engagement because we are in this loka, we are in this world. So we cannot completely be out of it, but keep it minimum. Maximum time is spent on learning sampradaya principles, reciting pasarams, and then engaging in kainkariams, going to temple, and these kind of activities are their focus. This is what we call a sampradaya lifestyle, where the focus is Bhagavan, Bhagavatas, Kainkariam. So, sampradaya lifestyle means fully focused on Bhagavan and Bhagavatas. Materialistic lifestyle or laukika lifestyle means fully focused on bodily activities, promotions, career, and so on and so forth. And there is always the in between, those who are neither there nor here. They are trying at least to be somewhat engaged in sampradaya spiritual activities. So this is the overall situation for all of us. There will be, if you put a graph, then probably majority will be in laukika, and then a good portion of people will be in the middle one, and then finally very few rare species, we should say. Those are fully engaged in sampradhAya activities. In the past, it was different. More people were engaged in sampradhAya activities and less people were engaged in laukika activities. But over time, that has changed due to different pressures, different situations. For example, if you go back in couple of generations, some 50 years in the past, 50, 60 years in the past, many people became very, that is, people who were in sampradhaya lifestyle, they became very poor. In the past, even before these 60 years, 100 years, mostly the kings and merchants, they would all be supporting people who are leading sampradhaya lifestyle. They will offer some help periodically. And the temple support system, temple and mutt, and this support system was better back then. The temple would employ many people. They would give some job and some basic remuneration. It may not be in cash, but it may be in kind. For example, prasadam will be given regularly to those who serve in the temples, and then they will get some rice and some grains and so on from temple through others. Again, some philanthropists and so on, good-hearted, charity-oriented persons. But over time, that got reduced, and hence people lost their support. They were into sampradaya lifestyle, but they didn't have enough finance to take care of their family and all that. And also, that was a time when money became a necessity. In the past, people could barter. They would get some rice and then they'll give that and get some milk and so on and so forth. But that could no longer be a viable option. People had to earn money because everywhere money was required. That became the trend. And because of that, this section of people who did not have real money with them, they started suffering a lot. In that, some people stood strong and remained in that poverty and somehow sailed through difficult times. They suffered a lot, but they took that suffering and they survived. And some of those who suffered now have become well off due to Bhagavad Kripa and due to them sticking to their dharma. They became well off. But many people, they chose to do things differently. They educated their children and they sent the children off to career based materialistic jobs. And because of that, the trend changed. Many people became laukika and less people were oriented in sampradaya. So this is where we stand now. So it has taken about 100 years or so where this majority has become minority and minority has become majority. So that is the current situation. And the purpose for this discussion, this transition to laukika to from laukika to sampradaya lifestyle is based on many who are asking, especially myself, how I did the transition. Because I was also working in IT companies, actually, I should say. And by Bhagavad Kripa, by Acharya Kripa, somehow Perumal eliminated all those dependencies through a decade or so. And also in that time, I got educated in Sampradayam by the grace of Bhagavan and Acharyas. and then I could easily transition from that laukika to sampradaya. And this this transition could be useful for some others also. And many were asking how did this happen. And also there is good interest being generated in the youth to go back to their roots nowadays, compared to some 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when people were forced to go and work full-time jobs and very routine and um, strenuous jobs. Now things are changing slightly, that people are able to do work from home. People are able to do um, businesses of some sort, like um, doing part-time jobs or even using social media to earn some money. So there are different ways of survival in this world now, and things are changing and becoming in one sense it is becoming challenging with too much competition and so on in laukika world. On the other side, there is also other opportunities opening up for people who are desiring to engage in Kainkaryam, full-time sampradaya activities and so on. So there is some interest in the youth, or even later, that middle-aged group, I should say. More than youth, the middle-aged group, 40 years old, 40 plus, 35 plus, they are getting more interest to switch back to sampradaya lifestyle. So that is that interest which is getting generated. So we thought this discussion will be helpful. That is why we have chosen this discussion. Now, in this, in the uh, last session, that was last week during our Shri Varavaramani Vidyalayam anniversary function in Srirangam, we had a good long session on this topic, and there was quite a bit of Bhagavatas who participated in that, and there were many aspects which were discussed in that discussion, but it was in Tamil. So we are now doing the same thing in English, and we actually again first listed three major factors which could easily facilitate this transition. Again, all of this is beyond Bhagavad Kripa, Acharya Kripa. That is given. We have to have Bhagavan's Kripa and Acharya's Kripa. That is the main factor. But beyond that, we saw a few um, important reasons which could facilitate this transition. So first I will list that, and um, then we will share all of the Bhagavatas who have joined here can share their thoughts and questions, and then we will wrap up the session today. We still have about half an hour left. Exactly at 7:30 we have to stop. So I will make my points very, very short and quick. So three aspects, main aspects I see, which are important is, first is the agreement between husband and wife. First point is the husband and wife who are going to make this transition, they have to be mutually agreeing on the objective that they want to transition from laukika life to sampradaya life. Unless this agreement is there, it is very, very difficult. Let's say the husband is very eager to transition, but wife is not willing. She is saying that no, we have to be in the laukika mode for some more time. Otherwise, we won't be able to survive. In that manner, if the wife is saying, then it's difficult. Similarly, let's say the wife is very, very interested. She wants to completely come out of the laukika, going to office and all of that. But the husband is saying, no, we can't do it. So if that agreement is not there, then it will be very, very difficult to make that transition. So that is the first point. And then second point is Karlama, the Bonma. Okay. The second point, which is very, very again crucial, is financial stability. If the family has some financial stability, then it will make the decision easier to transition from laukika to sampradhaya. Because of course we all need some money. Without money, it's very, very difficult. So if there is some financial base, some security is there, then it makes it easier. It doesn't mean that without that stability and security we cannot transition. There are people who don't have financial stability, still they have that desire to move forward, so they take that decision and they move forward. But the point here is, if that financial stability is there, it will be easier. That is the second point. And then the third point is firm conviction to be not disturbed by others. Because oftentimes the husband and wife may be agreeable. And actually, in my view, that is the main decision point. If the husband and wife are convinced that they want to move forward, then there is no major roadblock. They can move forward. But the only thing is, they will be disturbed by others. It will start from our own home, mainly parents. Parents will say, "Oh, why are you doing it now? Why so soon? Why not wait until 60 years? You work your time, and then when you retire at 60, then you can go to sampradhaya activities." So mainly parents will say, and then some influential uncles and aunts will be there. They will always put pressure, or sometimes even cousins, brothers, sisters. They will put pressure and they will say, "No, no, don't go this way. It's very risky. I know many people have gone and traveled this path, and they have come back with failures." So they'll put so much pressure in that. So we should not give in to that pressure from parents or uncles, aunts, or cousins, brothers, and so on. If we can pass through that with strong conviction, then our move will be successful. But if we are not able to withstand that pressure, then it will lead to failure only, because it will lead to unnecessary um, disagreements, arguments, and some unpleasant conversations and relationships and all that. So we should have firm conviction to make this transition easy. These are the main 3 points, as I see, which are required for this laukika to sampradaya transition. There were other points which were raised by many Bhagavatas on the session last week. We'll go through them in the end after we get the opinions and suggestions and questions from the participants here. And if we have time, I'll also highlight some of the points made from last session we had in Tamil, just to get some insight on this topic. But right now, I'll stop with this. And if any of you want to share your thoughts or questions, please raise your hand and go ahead. Anyone can speak.
Again, Swami, shall I speak?
Sure. Please go ahead.
Yes, Dhanyosmi Swami. Swami, basically, the 3 points that you said for the transition, that is very practical and relevant to Swami in almost with all the Bhagavatas. What Adiyan was thinking is that, yes, as you said, financial stability is the most important thing. And then, of course, agreement can always be done with the wife slowly if you are able to fulfill certain commitments. And slowly the transition can always happen. That is what Adiyan was thinking, Swami. Like in Adiyan's case, also, Adiyan got to know about Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam almost around the 50 years of age. Now, Adiyan is around 54 now. And Adiyan's breakthrough to it is not that Adiyan was not worshipping Sriman Narayana Krishna. It has been always there, but then, as you know, other devatas also used to be there, being Smarta Brahmins. Then my wife only actually suggested me to listen to Velukudi Krishnan Swami's Upanyasams. So that has really inculcated a lot of, and Adiyan's basic interest is always learning the Puranams, Itikasams. So that is where Adiyan's whole the interest was there, and slowly it became very easy for Adiyan to start listening to it, and then understand the principles. And whenever Swami used to do Upanyasam, he always used to talk about Divya Prabandham, of course, and also about the Sri Vaishnava Bhushanam. Now, you won't believe, Swami, it's all miracle only, I would say. Like just about 3, 4 months back, Adiyan was not even aware of all this. Now, Adiyan is learning.
Yeah.
So that is what I again always feels for me. If we have some inclination to do something, Bhagavan will definitely pay ways. So Adiyan is keeping that in mind, and at the same time, as you said, Adiyan is also trying to take care of laukika Vishyams, managing the family, supporting them, and whatever commitments that we had to do as family, Adiyan would do it, and slowly Adiyan will definitely get into proper Vaidika sampradhAya, Swami. This is what
Very
Adiyan
nice.
start.
Very nice. Yes, for some people, this exposure comes a little bit late in the life. Unfortunately, some of that is not in our control. Uh, Even though everything is based on karma to some extent, uh, this also sometimes it slips us. We let it slip for some reason or the other. We don't also show enough interest at the various points of our lives that we may have missed some good opportunities to get into sampradaya and learn more. And that only delays the process. But sooner or later, if we have that desire, if we have that real interest, we will get connected to some Bhagavata, some Acharya, and that will slowly develop our interest and our commitment, and also the time we spend in this. Over a period of time, we have to slowly increase the time we spend for Sampradaya principles. We cannot just be stagnant and think that, okay, it's enough if I do some 15 minutes puja, do some arati, and do some satumarai. That is enough. If we have that mentality, then progress will be very difficult. We have to have a lot of craving for more and more and more and more. Only when we have that craving, that will actually lead to ultimate benefit for us. So, yeah, very good to listen to how you are also transitioning. Okay. Next, anyone else would like to share?
Srimati Ramanujaya Nama Swamiji.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, it's not more about sharing. It's more of a problem I am kind of facing.
Okay.
Based in Bombay, Swamiji, and I was introduced to Sampradaya during COVID.
Okay.
Uh, Post that, I have tried. So, for example, uh, Ahara Shuddhi,
Mhm.
Swamiji.
Yeah.
So for that, I have tried to reduce my eliminate my onion and garlic intake.
Right.
But for some extraneous situations, so for example, in office and other places, you don't get food which does not have these elements in them. And for example, the family still consumes these things.
Hmm.
So in case we go out, it's always it's okay, one day you can manage, you
Hmm.
can have it. Or
Yeah.
suppose lunch is not able to be packed, so if I have to go to office, then I have to eat that food. Or for example, if we have an office meeting, suppose we go and I ask for Jain food, but then like it so happens that that food comes last. So in the meantime, everybody is getting antsy to leave, and they say you can consume this which has. So things like that sort of, deter the Ahara Shuddhi principle, Swamiji.
Yeah, see, the
Mm.
main thing is, as far as our food, we must control what we eat and where we eat and all that. To start with, you have to learn some cooking. And
Mm.
whatever the situation may be, you cannot give any excuse. If you
Mm.
have to, let's say, you have to go to office by 7 o'clock, and if you are
Mm.
waking up at, let's say, 5:30 to go to office, you have to wake up at 5 o'clock and
Mm.
make it a habit that you prepare your own food. Make some rice and dal, or make some chapati or whatever. It takes only 30 minutes to 45 minutes to prepare some basic food. It wouldn't take more than that with all the modern cooking facilities. It's
Mm.
fairly easy. We just have to learn the basic tricks and techniques to do some quick food preparation, and then offer that to Perumal. You submit whatever you cook and then you pack it and then leave. So, or if you, let's say you have to leave very, very early and you go to office, then just get some fruits and eat the fruits. We have
Mm.
to somehow manage with fruits and uh,
Fruit.
some snacks or whatever. You maybe you roast some groundnuts or cashews or whatever. You have to
Mm.
find some way to keep yourself energetic and sustain. And then you come home,
Sustain.
let's say at 8 o'clock. You quickly take a shower and then you prepare whatever food. We have to do some
Mm-hmm.
sacrifices, because if we don't do that, then there is very little scope for improvement in our mentality, our
Improvement.
devotion, and all of that. So it is something which is compulsory. We have to control our food habits. We have to make sure that we prepare. Let's say on Saturday, Sunday, you prepare some extra snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Then you keep it with you, or you
Mm.
prepare some chapatis, some 10, 15 chapatis. You keep it for emergency, and you take them. 2, 3 days, it will not go bad. It will stay.
Bad.
Then when you get a chance, you again prepare little bit and keep it. So in
Mm.
this manner, you have to somehow manage. Without ahara shuddhi, it's very, very difficult to make progress in sampradaya. And we should avoid any hotel food. We know all the problems which come with outside food, what kind of oil they use, what kind of um, quality of the grains, and we don't know any of that. Some people may say this is good, but there is no
Mm.
guarantee. So it's always better to get your own food, and also you can get some yogurt and milk and keep it ready and carry some with you to keep you
Mm-hmm.
fresh and energetic. So you have to manage somehow.
Yes, Swamiji, that's correct.
Yeah.
Actually, I have also observed that on the days such consumption is done, the mind is not able to focus properly on Bhagwan's scriptures or anything related to him.
Yeah,
But on
certainly
the days,
it will have impact because of the rajogunam and tamogunam it gives. It
yes,
definitely has some impact.
yes, Swamiji.
Okay, so next, anyone else would share, because we only have about 15 more minutes. Anyone?
Adiyan Swami, Adiyan Dasan Swami.
Adienda.
Um, Swami, that sticking to Dharma,
Huh.
um, for me, the first step that stuck for us together is the career-based education that Devri was suggesting. It is at its peak now,
Hmm.
uh, more so in the last 20, 30 years.
Right.
We are seeing that children, when taught with Divya Prabandham and Vedam, are able to easily grasp. But for us, it takes some time. So when we slowly, for us, the shift happened when we didn't try to balance laukika versus our Sanatana Dharma, but I think inculcating slowly, like Devri suggested, um, having it as a priority, like how we won't eat without feeling hungry. Nowadays, we eat even if we don't feel hungry. Like that, Adian was thinking that we should make it a priority, having practices of Sanatana Dharma in our day-to-day life. As a couple, as a family, when we do it every day, one day when we don't do it, then we feel that something is missing. Like how we won't take leave from office if we are working outside. But very easily we prioritize or reprioritize sitting and reciting Divya Prabandham or Vedam if we don't have time. We say we'll, even Satamura is all done in a shorter way because we don't have time. So
Yeah,
I think voluntarily prioritizing more really helps with that gradual shift.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Uh,
an excellent point actually. That we always, many people say that we should find a balance between laukika and sampradaya, but it should actually be the other way around. We should actually give more importance to sampradaya because laukika will naturally come, whether we want to be following or not, we want to be going towards career or not, we'll be pushed into it, or most of us will be pushed into it. But sampradaya, unless we put specific efforts, unless we have that as the priority, it will not move forward. We will easily fall back in it. Yeah, go ahead.
Basic necessities of life, Swami, now has luxuries have become our basic comfort these days. In that luxury, we have to bring in our Sanatana Dharma also, Swami. For example, I think Archit Swami's point, Adiyomal faced that because we were living out of Bharata Desha for a long time. And with Acharyan Kripa, we are back. We everyone says we bond or connect over food, Swami. These days, that's become the trend. Whether we cook at home or we eat outside, everyone wants to bond over food. But from where the source of food, we don't care about it. Adian, these days, Adian feels that if we are not able to manage with what we have, if we have to eat outside, it's better to observe Ekadashi on that day, Swami. That's what we are doing. Because now Madhav Swami has to go to Chennai every week. And what I give sometimes is not able to withstand for 2, 3 days because of heat. So what he does is he observes Ekadashi Swami, which is fruits and if milk is available. And we feel that's helping us for health-wise also.
Yeah.
And even at home, we do that, Swami. If health-wise something comes up, and it also helps us once in 15 days anyway with Ekadashi to retain that fast.
Yeah, yeah. See, even when we go out, if we are a little bit more prepared, then we can easily manage. For example, we can have some dry fruits, we can have some burfis. These won't go bad at all, and they give quick energy for us. If we eat some jaggery based burfi or something, it gives good energy and quickly we'll be able to sustain for a couple of hours. So we should not unnecessarily torture our body also. Now, sampradaya, whatever is necessary, we have to take care of that. If we have to take care of our body to do kankariam, because if we spoil our body also, it's not good. So we have to take care of our body to the extent that it is fit for kankariam. So we have to plan little bit in advance. Whenever we have to go out, we have to make some arrangements that we don't starve and then struggle.
Adiyan Swami, Bhagyam Swami.
Thank you. Okay. I think we are getting towards the end actually, because we also have to close and complete the session by 7:30. Another 5 more minutes we have. Anyone else want to share anything in a crisp and short manner? Okay. So I will just conclude by sharing some points from last session, which may again be useful for everyone. This came up in the last session. One particular aspect which came about was the children dilemma, because in many cases um, the parents will be very interested in sampradaya and they will start moving towards sampradaya, but the children, due to lack of sampradaya knowledge and interest in sampradayam also, because they are young and unfortunately when the parents were not when we parents were not sampradaya oriented, they raise the children in a way that it's not um, it's not easy for the children to suddenly cope up with this change. So that is a particular dilemma which was pointed out by some in the last session. So again, there also we have to give some time and um, we have to be patient with the children and try to encourage them in taking up the sampradaya principles slowly and steadily. We cannot push, we cannot force. We may be maintaining good standards, but if the children are not up to the mark, we should not force them or we should not trouble them because of their situation. We have to understand their situation and we have to develop them slowly. So that was one point. And there is also this health related issues. Nowadays, many people are getting diseases and so on. So for that, we may end up needing huge amount of money. But for that also, we kind of discussed that we cannot plan for everything in this world. There are so many people who are living with 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees earnings per month. So they are able to survive different situations. And if we are earning, let's say, even 50,000, 60,000, if we are so worried about these things and we start planning more career options and all that, then it's not going to help us in any way in Sampradaya lifestyle. So we have to make some decision at some point and have some faith on Bhagavan and so on. So those were some of the points which were discussed. Anyway, we'll continue this topic in some other occasion. But we've just had some insight about the particular topic today. Since there is another session which is being held up because of this session, we'll conclude the session today. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll again meet next week around the same time or a little before or after, depending on the Kainkariams. And we will discuss another topic on this bOdhayantha parasparam event. Alvar Embermanar Jiyar Tirugade Sharanam, Jiyar Tirugade Sharanam.
Then Yosmi Swami. Next session will be in Tamil Swami or English?
Next session we will have it in Tamil. We are alternating anyway. We will
Okay,
have
Swami.
another
Then
topic
Yosmi.
and another session.
Okay, Swami. Then Yosmi Swami.
At the end of office.